Welcome back to the channel, guys. As you can see, we have not changed our clothes. This means this is, if you've seen the last episode, this is recorded 5 seconds after that. Just said bye to say hi again. Anyways, we're gonna continue and see what happens.
Another talk.
Yeah, no, it's what's gonna happen.
Kisara, Shion, and Dohalim are the ones who talk long.
Yeah.
Dohalim more.
But I'm hoping if it's gonna be story, it's not gonna be talking. It's gonna be some action in the sense that something happens. We discover things. Secrets from the game. What's happened in the past. I'm hoping that's what's gonna happen in 5 hours, because that's not gonna be boring. But if they keep talking about the same things, Kisara, I know your dream. You talked about it for hours. I know. You want me to tell you what your dream is? Coexistence. That's what your dream is. You want that? Okay. And do you want to know what? Dohalim is gonna say? It's gonna be like this, and it's gonna be like, yes, there is a mystery. I'm curious about what happened. I've been 7 years. What's happening? Things are not the way I know they are. And then.
You start now.
And then Shion is
like them. You're talking
and then
too much.
And then Shion is like, I want to touch people, but I can't. Oh, poor me. I know. Oh. Shut up! I know everything about you guys. Let's go.
Yeah, you like them. You're talking too much.
Yes.
Wait, you want to be inside?
Is it the game? I guess so.
Where are you going?
Is this a lift?
Oh. With Dohalim.
Hey, who's am I supposed to talk with? Dohalim? Oh yeah, I forgot.
Hi.
Is everyone about ready?
Yes.
We'll be making preparations to land.
Oh, we're gonna land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too.
No, I don't.
It's centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
That's the Renas?
Hmm?
That's Rena?
Uh,
Lenegis?
yeah, it should be a planet, isn't it? Why is that? That looks like a big space station.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Oh, they landed to the
Do you think
space
anyone
station.
realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
I want to fight.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst.
Who?
Him.
Alphen?
Mm-hmm.
In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble.
Ah, there, look.
In which case,
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Hit it up!
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Nah. You need to talk to them.
Beyond that wall
Ah.
lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Do you want to listen to what Landing and Legalis is gonna say?
Huh?
No, let's go.
This is Lenegis. Right? What's the planet that Dana?
Yep, the other one is done. Let's go.
That's weird. They can see the.
Huh? What's this? Is destroyed? The planet is destroyed? The city is destroyed, I mean. There's a child?
Is it present though? Their attack.
Looks like it.
Maybe that's his impact. Alphens.
No, that's not
What in the
Alphens.
world?
That's the red woman and
This
the other
being
guy.
Renan territory. I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
A colleague.
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden
I see.
Zone.
Very well.
The
It looks
ship.
like we'll have to find
Yeah,
a way
because
there
I think
ourselves.
they change shape so they can shoot
Have
the
you
which
seen
down, no?
Faria yet?
It's more circle now.
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
The girl.
I can well imagine.
The one who's crying.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
That's his nickname, Do.
Do. Oh, from Dohalim. And the girl's name is Re?
Something
so
like
who's Faria?
Dore?
Faria.
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
What's that sound? I keep hearing sounds.
Right? There's something there, a bright.
What's this?
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just... unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
Right!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and
Get
chat.
moving.
Let's move.
No more chatting.
You should have ended it at Anarta. I'm not gonna listen to that. Go away.
looks like the part of the
what?
motherboard.
The motherboard? Actually, yeah, you're right. It looks like circuits. Okay, so let's go here because I think this is the closest person to talk with. Hi, Bob.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
You.
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
They have like uniforms.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
He's angry with Shion. He couldn't get angry with Dohalim.
Yeah, because she's a lord. Hi.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though.
Who's
A
the
lower
Sovereign?
caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
That way?
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
I won't come back.
You'd
I
really
promise
do that
that.
for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
This way?
There's another one, right?
I cannot go.
It's blocked.
Can I jump down?
Nope. It's a display. Where are you? What's that?
Oh,
That
he's
man.
here. Which one?
No, this. The bald one.
Bald.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First, Lenegis mutates beyond recognition. Now, this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling
My
over
question.
Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold
there's
up.
a mainland.
What are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not
There's
if the
no
Sovereign
Rena.
is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danan. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you?
Of course they are.
The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
Well,
One
Go.
of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Let's go.
first of all, what's inside here?
The entrance.
Oh, look, some
Whoa,
strawberry.
That's
I would actually, yep, and I would actually like to eat some strawberries. So it was a round button on this one. So, love, I think that they're the same.
26.
26 minutes. I think that they're the same. Some species like the Renans and the Renans and the what are the
Danas?
Danas, yes. Because I don't think that's a Renan planet actually. This is it.
This is Lenegis.
Yes, but this is supposed to be like a Renan spaceship or station near Dana, right? But there is also the Renan home planet. But I don't think that.
Look, Lenegis citizenry.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Canabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
But
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals?
cannot talk again.
Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
That's a side quest.
So Shion lives there, right? In this city.
Yep.
Dohalim,
Yep.
he also stays here.
Yep.
So nobody's have been on that mainland.
I mean the home planet? Nobody from here has ever been there. That's what they said. They don't know anything about it, which leads me to believe that there's no actually home, no home planet, just a life for these people. I think there's no actual Renan race love, because there's a difference between Danans and Renans. They look the same. The only difference is that they can use astral powers and their eyes grow.
This could be hybrids.
But no hybrids.
Alphen was examined.
Experimented on.
Experiment.
Yeah, so who knows. Anyway, this is the end for it, guys, for now.
Questions and questions.
Yes. We'll continue the next episode, but we have to stop here because the camera is gonna stop recording soon, and there's no sense in signing and recording till, you understand, we have 30 minutes. Let's just end it here. Thank you for watching. It's starting to become interesting. Like, I like the part when they start putting actual real questions about the story, about no real human about real questions. Anyway, you can hear my voice, but you cannot see my face because the camera stopped. See you in the next part. Bye bye.
Don't forget to like
and subscribe
and leave us a comment.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
I'm waving, just so you know.
Stop it, baby.